How many times have you suffered from people who turned out to be toxic? And how many times have you wished you could recognize the signs of a harmful personality sooner, before it was too late? Before the damage resulting from their actions became irreparable. Bad people can leave deep scars, eroding your self-esteem and undermining your inner peace. And again, they can drain your energy, leaving you with a sense of emptiness and disappointment. But what exactly defines a bad person? And most importantly, how can you protect yourself from these individuals? Join us on this journey through ancient Buddhist wisdom, as we will see that bad people always do these 8 things. And if you stay until the end, we'll reveal a powerful secret to you. A simple but effective move to defend yourself from these people and regain control of your life. But before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. This way, you will be informed when we publish new content for your spiritual growth. The sun was setting over the hills around Kyoto, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. A group of pilgrims, tired but full of hope, had gathered around an elderly Buddhist monk, whose wrinkles told stories of wisdom and compassion. His name was Keizo, and his reputation as a spiritual guide had attracted people from all corners of the country. Master Keizo, a young woman named Sakura, began, "How can we spot bad people? And how can we protect ourselves from their poison and their envy? My heart has been hurt many times by people I thought were friends who weren't, and I don't want to suffer anymore." The monk smiled kindly, his eyes shining with an inner light. Evil, my dear Sakura, manifests itself in many ways, often subtle and difficult to recognize. But over the course of my life, I have realized that there are 8 behaviors that these individuals have in common. And knowing how to recognize them will help you identify them and protect your inner peace and your spiritual path. The pilgrims, happy to be able to learn from their mentor, sat back to listen to his lesson. Constant and destructive criticism, began the monk, is a very clear sign that you are dealing with destructive people. Bad people, in fact, are like storm clouds, always ready to cast criticism and judgment on others. They do not offer constructive advice, but only focus on the negative aspects, undermining the trust and self-esteem of the people they encounter. For example, they may comment on your physical appearance in cruel ways, telling you that you are too fat or too thin, that you have an ugly nose or crooked teeth. They may ridicule your ideas in a business meeting, making them seem stupid or irrelevant, or belittle your personal successes, attributing them to luck or the help of others. These criticisms are not motivated by the desire to help you improve, but by the need to feel superior and to control others. They may also use sarcasm and biting humor to make you feel small and inadequate. Emotional manipulation was the second aspect the elderly monk talked about. Like master puppeteers, bad people pull the strings of other people's emotions to get what they want, he said. They use guilt, fear, and insecurity to control and dominate others and get what they want. They may make you feel guilty for not meeting their unreasonable expectations, for example, by demanding that you always be available to them, even at the cost of sacrificing your own needs and desires. They may threaten to abandon you if you don't do what they want, creating a climate of fear and insecurity. They may also make you doubt yourself and your abilities, isolating you from others and questioning your perception of reality. A classic example of these situations is the one in which the bad person denies the evidence of the facts to make you believe that you are crazy or that you have imagined things. Envy is a poison that poisons the heart of those who feel it, said the master, introducing the other point he would speak about. Bad people rejoice in other people's misfortunes and envy their successes, hindering their personal growth. They may downplay your successes, saying they aren't that important or that you only achieve them because you're lucky. They may question your abilities, implying that you are not smart or talented enough. And again, they could even sabotage your efforts, spreading false rumors about you or putting a spanner in the works of your projects. Remember that envy is often disguised as false friendship or concern, and this makes it even more insidious. These people may pretend to be happy for you, but in reality, they deeply resent your successes. The lack of empathy is another profound alarm bell, thanks to which you can understand that you are dealing with a bad person. Bad people, in fact, are incapable of putting themselves in others' shoes, of feeling compassion for their pain. Their emotional coldness is like a barren desert, incapable of nurturing authentic relationships. They may ignore your feelings when you are sad or worried, changing the subject or minimizing your suffering. They may downplay your worries as if they were insignificant, telling you not to take it too hard or to think positively. They may even mock your pain, making insensitive jokes or accusing you of being too sensitive. This lack of empathy can make you feel alone and misunderstood, eroding your trust in human relationships. As the sun began to set, and the pilgrims listened with great attention to the words of their mentor, Kaizo continued his lesson by speaking about lies and deception. Bad people spin webs of lies and deception to achieve their goals, he said in a stern voice. Remember that their dishonesty undermines trust and poisons human relationships. They may lie about their intentions, telling you that they only want your best, when in reality they are trying to manipulate you. They may be hiding important information that could harm you, such as their true feelings or past actions. They may even spread false rumors about you to ruin your reputation or isolate you from others. Lying is a powerful weapon in the hands of a bad person, used to manipulate, control, and harm others. These people may also change their version of events, depending on who they are talking to, creating confusion and conflict. Keizo, happy to see how the pilgrims listened to him attentively, continued talking about another important sign: arrogance and pride. Bad people consider themselves superior to others and despise their opinions and feelings, he said. Their arrogance is a wall that prevents them from learning and growing. They may constantly interrupt you when you speak, not giving you a chance to express your ideas. They may dismiss your ideas as worthless, even if they are valid and well argued. They may patronize you as if you were a child, using a patronizing tone of voice. Or again, they could make decisions for you without asking your permission. This arrogance can make you feel inferior and incapable, undermining your self-esteem and the confidence you have in your abilities. These people might even brag about their successes and abilities, belittling yours. Verbal and physical violence was another important signal that the monk focused on. Bad people use words as weapons to hurt and humiliate others, he said in a serious tone of voice. In some cases, their violence also manifests itself physically, causing irreparable damage. They may insult you with hurtful and degrading words, call you cruel names, or question your intelligence or worth as a person. They may threaten to harm you if you do not submit to their will, creating a climate of fear and intimidation. They may even physically attack you, pushing you, slapping you, or hitting you. Violence, whether verbal or physical, is an unmistakable sign of evil and should never be tolerated. They may also use passive violence, such as ostracism or silence, to punish or control you. The pilgrims nodded, remembering the times they had found themselves in similar situations without being able to defend themselves. Bad people don't feel remorse for their actions. They don't regret the harm they've caused. Keizo continued. Their conscience is like a frozen lake, unable to reflect the light of truth. They may deny that they have done anything wrong even in the face of evidence, refusing to take responsibility for their actions. They may blame others for their mistakes, projecting blame onto you or other people to avoid facing the consequences of their behavior. They may even justify their behavior as deserved, claiming that you or others did something to provoke them or that they don't deserve to be treated better. This lack of remorse is a sign of profound disconnection from one's own humanity and the suffering of others. They may also downplay the impact of their actions, saying that it wasn't that bad or that you're exaggerating. The monk took a long pause, letting his words penetrate the minds and hearts of the pilgrims. "But how can we protect ourselves from these people?" asked Kaizo. An older man asked, his voice shaking with concern. "Wisdom, my dears, is your best defense," replied the monk. "Cultivate awareness. Learn to recognize danger signs. Maintain your inner peace. Don't let other people's negativity contaminate you. Set healthy boundaries and distance yourself from those who hurt you. Surround yourself with positive people who love and respect you. And above all, remember that compassion is your strength. Don't respond to malice with equal malice, but with kindness and understanding." Kaizo stood, his movements slow and measured. "But there's something else you can do. A powerful move that can disarm even the baddest person." The pilgrims leaned forward, eager to hear what the monk was about to say. "The most powerful move," Kaizo said with an enigmatic smile, "is indifference." A murmur of surprise spread among the pilgrims. Indifference? How could indifference be a defense against malaise? Kaizo explained, "Bad people feed on your reactions. Your tears, your anger, your fear are their fuel. When you react to their provocations, you give them exactly what they want, power over you. But when you show yourselves indifferent, when you don't let yourself get involved in their games, you deprive them of their power. It's like taking away oxygen from a fire, like taking away water from a plant." "But how can we remain indifferent in the face of wickedness?" Sakura asked, a hint of concern in her eyes. "It's not about ignoring pain or repressing emotions," the monk replied. "It's about recognizing that the wickedness of others is not a reflection of your value. It's about maintaining calm and serenity, even in the face of the most offensive provocations. It's about responding with kindness and compassion, even when your instincts push you to react with anger. And above all, it's about remembering that you are the master of your heart and mind. No one can hurt you without your permission.